Every day, whether you think about it or not, you're sharing information about yourself with businesses and their affiliates. You'd be surprised just how often it happens, and perhaps equally surprised at how vulnerable this leaves us and our families to all sorts of cyber crimes. We're not just talking computers here. Do you have a cell phone? Do you text, play games, share photos, post comments? How about shopping? We've all learned to be vigilant at stores or shopping malls. But as Director of Information Technologies Joe Marcella explains, things are not as simple as they used to be.
Sherry, the world has changed. Years ago, we used to worry about something called physical security, breaking into things and being able to get into a computer room or computer facility. Now it's logical security. That's that kind of that cyber protection. I mean, hell, we used to keep the social security numbers in the clear.
Right.
Anybody could see anybody's social security number because it wasn't an issue back then. And then the PC happened, the internet happened, and mobile happened. The mobile devices that everybody carries. In our earlier conversations, one of the things you mentioned, nobody realizes that that's really a computer.
It is.
And then that gave them a whole nother opening to steal your identity, to disrupt your environment, and actually wage cyber war. It now takes professionals, folks that literally focus on that discipline so that we can protect ourselves. It's not an ancillary thing any longer. It really takes a lot of expertise. Mary Siero is an example of that.
And this is your specialty then. This is what you have zeroed in on.
Yes,
security.
it is. That's what our company does. And it is a real concern in this day and age. I don't think people realize how much crime is out there, especially the younger generation, because they basically grew up with technology.
Right.
And they have no fear. They will go out and they will do all sorts of things that those of us in our generation wouldn't do. They'll go on Facebook and they'll post when they're on vacation or out of their house. And
that is my pet peeve with my kids. Why?
It's a little nerve-wracking.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you almost think that they have to experience something before they'll realize that that's not the best thing to do. But even outside of that, there's a lot of adults our age and younger who are interested in shopping on the internet because, frankly, it's so much easier. And there's a lot of crime out there. There are 18 victims of cybercrime per second. Per second. So there's a lot of it out there, and that's a pretty scary statistic. But what I can tell you is there are a lot of very simple things that people can do to protect themselves. It's sort of like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. You're wearing the ruby slippers. All you have to do is tap your heels together 3 times, and you really can protect yourself.
Oh, I'm ready. Let's do it then. Where do we start tapping?
Well, the first thing you do is you want to make sure that your computer that you're working on is up to date. In 2011, Symantec reported that the most attacked vulnerability in a PC was 4 years old. So that means people are not applying updates regularly to their PCs.
So it's not just a matter of saying, oh, I have software.
No.
You've got to keep that software up to date.
Exactly. And I think the statistic is there are 13 pieces of malware being released every day into the internet, something over 200 million per year. So it's more important now than ever to make sure that your computer is kept up to date. So that's the first thing. The second thing is to make sure that you have a good antivirus software on your computer. Again, viruses are rampant, and 64% of the attacks were some sort of virus or malware that happened in 2011, which is the latest year we have statistics for. So it's very important to have antivirus software and to make sure that you keep your antivirus software up to date. And now's a good time to say that doesn't go just for your PC, that also goes for your mobile phone.
Right. Now how do I, for instance, I've got an Apple, an iPhone. I've not seen an app that says it's for antivirus. Well, how am I keeping my phone safe?
Well, I don't know that much about Apple's, but if you go to the iPhone store, there's a major vendor that provides antivirus software for the mobile market called Lookout.
Okay.
And there's a product called Lookout Mobile Security. You can download it for free. And they also have a paid version of it, which has more bells and whistles. But for the most part, if you download the free version of Lookout, which is available for the iPhone and for all the other markets, that's the first step you can take with your mobile phone to help make sure you're protected.
It's something.
It is something.
Wow.
So, and there's actually a lot of free tools out there. There's free antivirus software for your PC that, you know, if you can't afford it or, you know, don't want to pay for it, the free antivirus software works just as good as the other antivirus products. A lot of people ask me which is better, and the honest truth is they're all about the same. They all do a good job. They all do as good a job as they can do, given the rapid release of malware into the market. So as long as you have some antivirus software, that's the best thing that you can do.
Okay.
The next thing you want to do is when you're out on holiday shopping sites, you want to make sure that there's a few things you look at to make sure that you are at a secure site.
Okay.
One of the things cyber criminals like to do is they like to take advantage of very popular things that are happening. So if there's a big news story, for example, recently the General Petraeus news story, and they like to embed malware in the search results that people get for things like that. So if you were to
I'm
do...
shocked. I'm sorry. I'm just sitting here with my mouth hanging open. Are you kidding me?
Oh, no.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go on.
That's okay. So if you were to do a search on General Petraeus because you wanted to read a news story, you may end up at a site that's been infected with malware, and it may get onto your PC and begin to steal your data.
Oh, my gosh.
So you have to be careful. And I use Norton antivirus software, and other products have similar functionality, but they always, when I do a search, there'll be a little green OK sign at the end of the search line that tells me that Norton has evaluated that website and that that website doesn't contain any malware.
Ah, okay. So if I have software of any sort, I bet if I go into the help menu of the software, it'll tell me what I'm looking for.
That's correct.
Wow.
That's correct. So if you're searching for something to buy, or whether you're searching for a news story, whatever you're searching for, the first thing you want to make sure is that the website you go to is safe. And so your antivirus software gives you that first clue by having the OK by those search results that it returns. The next thing you can do when you go to a site is up at the top at the address bar, it'll say HTTP. And if it says HTTPS, that S means that it's got security in that site. So you never want to give a credit card or any personal information on a website that only says HTTP. You always want to make sure it says HTTPS.
Got it.
Now, one of the really nice things about it is there's been some new technology that's come out in the last couple of years that puts a green bar at the top. So if you have a green bar, it's even more secure than HTTPS. So that's a second thing.
We're not just looking for that little padlock thing anymore. That we,
No.
Okay.
That's correct.
Just checking.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the last tip I like to tell people is always use a different user ID and password for an internet shopping site than you do for anything else.
Oh.
That way, if someone gets your user ID and password, they won't be able to break into everything that you have. You especially want a unique user ID and password if you do online banking for your banking site.
Right.
And then lastly, I like to suggest that you not store your credit card number in the website.
Yeah, I always wonder about that. Yeah, we won't share it with anybody, but yeah, well, it's like saying, here, you hang on to this, and I'll come back and shop later.
Right. Well, I'm not worried about them sharing. I'm worried about someone breaking in and stealing it.
Into their database.
Into their database. That's correct. So that's just one more way to protect yourself.
You know, it sounds like common sense, but again, for those of us, you know, that used to walking in a store and all we had to do was grab our purse. Not you, Joe. Not your wallet.
Joe has a purse.
Yeah, Joe has a man.
It's a man purse.
It's a man
bag.
It's a purse. You know, that's it. We were thinking, now we have to think that way continuously. Somebody is looking to get their hands on your credit card.
Absolutely.
Wow, this is good stuff.
Yeah, I think what's interesting too is that Mary's talking about and I call it the retail side versus the wholesale side, but government has got a huge issue. Mary did us a favor. It's about a month ago. She appeared and testified in front of a committee that I chair for the governor, which is Information Technology Advisory Board. The governor and the state of Nevada believes that out of the 5 major priorities when it comes to technology, security is right there at the top. So Mary gave us literally a rundown of all of those issues that are necessary, even at the government level. Government is a target.
Of course it is.
And not from a retail perspective, not so much to gather information, but to disrupt. we really believe that the next level of warfare is probably going to be cyber.
And it'll probably come from a 14-year-old in his basement, you know, somewhere.
Actually, there's whole industries out there now of cyber criminals.
They don't need the kids anymore.
They don't need them. Well, the kids work for them.
There are a lot of great websites with resources on staying cyber safe, including the topics we just touched on, as well as ways to talk to your kids about everything from online predators to cyberbullying. Remember, even if you take precautions, malware can find its way onto your computer and other devices. If you suspect that it has, stop doing things that require passwords or personal info, such as online shopping or banking, and get some reliable info. Start with the federal government site, onguardonline.gov, to help you stay safe, secure, and responsible online. That's all the time we have for this Las Vegas City Scene. Expect new episodes beginning the third Saturday of each month at 5:30 p.m. And remember that KCLV is streamed live 24 hours a day at our website, kclv.tv, where you'll find our program guide and a link to our YouTube page with an archive of past shows. And CenturyLink customers, in addition to your standard Channel 2, you can watch us in high definition on Channel 1002. I'm Sherry Singer. I'll see you on the next Las Vegas City Scene on KCLV Channel 2, bringing city government closer to you.